Hey guys, good afternoon. I was going to go live a little bit earlier, but I wanted to watch Tiffany bind her quilt today. So I figured, well, she's done. Hey, Kim. So I'm going to go ahead and go on. So I got all kinds. Ooh, let me turn that microphone off on my phone. I want to be able to read the chat without having to look over there at the computer. But I thought I would get everything set up. Well, yeah, fancy meeting me here. I'm not usually live on the afternoons, am I? I pulled a couple of little things out here and there. Figured I would finish up some little projects today. And let's see. Yeah, that's what I did. Oh, and how are you today, Ms. Kim? Kim. I know it's not a crochet channel, but I want to finish this little bee so that I can put it as a pin cushion. Get that all done and put away. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Tracy. Waiting on Colleen to show up. So how is everybody today? You're fixing some food, but watching closely? Okay. This is one of those bees that Becca and Beth made on Becca's Live last week. Okay, no problem, Tracy. I'm waiting on a few more people to get here before I get into all of that today. Do want to say quilters are absolutely the most generous people that I have ever met. You guys are the bomb. You are my peoples. And I love everybody I've met in the community, just about. Well, I love everybody I've met in the community. I don't always like everybody, but I do love you guys. So like I said, I'm kind of wanting to finish this up real quick. And it's descending into closing up the little hole. And the pattern calls for like do one single crochet and then do a decrease stitch. And I hope I'm doing it right because I don't have the pattern pulled up right now. But I don't want to give the bee a flat butt. I want to give him a fluffy butt. Hey, Donna, how are you today? Donna is one of those people I love to death. Hey, Marie. Donna has been so generous with everybody in the quilting community. She shares knowledge and her abilities with all of us, and she's been interviewing some great people. If you aren't subscribed to Donna, you should go check her out. I keep hearing that she sounds like me, and she keeps hearing that she sounds like me, but I don't hear. Maybe sometimes with some of the words we use. Hi, Courtney. And so last night, Donna did something really generous. She offered up for anybody who needed help in the quilting community, for them to have a place to stay. And a couple of people took advantage of that, which is good. And she gave one person in particular the opportunity to put out a list of what they needed. And on that list was something that I had purchased and sent to that person. And I was a little surprised because I thought, well, why is she asking for one of those? So I asked about it. And we all know I'm talking about Kathy. And I'm going to talk about it today a little bit. I'm not going to go into great details or anything like that, but I've been getting PMs and I've been getting text messages and emails from people going, what happened? Why aren't you and Kathy doing lives together anymore? Why isn't she on your channel? Why doesn't she have a wrench? This, that, and the other. Kathy and I did have a disagreement. We had a pretty good disagreement. And the first time it happened, I just said, I'm not going to say anything about this. The second time it happened, I'm not going to say anything about this. And then I decided that I was going to ignore the whole situation because I figured I'm a small potatoes channel. She's a small potatoes channel. And I wasn't going to go into detail because I kind of felt like it was something private that had happened between the two of us. But from what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what I'm getting from you guys is that only one of us is keeping things private and the other one is making nasty little digs. And it's frustrating because, I'm trying to be nice and I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be hurtful to anybody, but I'm a little tired of hearing about it. And I'm a little tired of getting the nasty little digs. So Kathy and I disagreed because Kathy decided that I had unsubscribed to her channel. She jumped in the middle of my case about it. Then she didn't like the times that I was choosing to go live. Then she tried to tell me what I could and couldn't do on my channel. And all of these things are documentable in chats. Kathy came into a chat while I was doing a live on pineapple blocks and paper piecing and actually asked me if I was trying to take over her channel. Now, after all of this stuff, I still kept my mouth shut because you're supposed to be. And I just keep hearing okay, are we back, guys? Sorry. Okay, am I back for you guys? I hope so. Okay, that's fine. So tried to be, I hope I'm back for everybody now. You can hear me, but no picture. Well, hopefully the picture will come up in just a second. My camera says it's working. I'm still freezing again. Okay. So I've tried really hard to just stay out of it, let her do her thing and say her piece and whatever. But my piece today is this. I removed Kathy as a mod from my group. I have not been following Kathy, and I'm still getting texts and emails and messages about things she's saying about me in her lives. I can't do anything about what she's saying or doing, and I just was like, I'll just ignore and eventually it'll all be done and over with, right? Well, a couple days ago, she had her daughter send me a video via PM on Facebook. And it was a video of their Christmas. I have no clue why she did this. I assumed that her daughter had been hacked. And I sent a message to her and I said, you know, did Jen send me a video on purpose? Did she get hacked? What happened? And she said, oh, I don't know. I'll check with Jen. And then she messaged me again and she said, yeah, she sent you the video. Is that okay? And guys, I've dealt with narcissists before. I have family members who are schizophrenic and bipolar. My mother was diagnosed. And the behavior that I saw, I don't know why it bothered me so bad, but that was my final straw. So I will no longer be going to any of Kathy's chats. I have unsubscribed from her channel. I'm sorry. I really tried hard not to do that. I thought, well, she needs the subscribers just like I do. And I took her off of my Facebook group and she can no longer see me on Facebook. And she may be able to see me in here. And, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. I don't want to be involved in this anymore. I'm trying to go past her and just go on and hopefully grow my YouTube channel. And I hope you guys, I'm not asking you to make a choice between me and her, anything like that. I'm just saying, I don't want to deal with her anymore. I don't want to deal with the drama that's surrounding her. And I will answer what questions I can or what I want to. But I don't want to go into great amounts of detail. You guys can ask and I'll answer if I want to. How's that? Is that fair? I hope. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Donna. Hi, Marie. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Faith. Hi, Marie Hahn. Hello, everybody. You know, hi, Faith. I wanted to get everything said before I looked to see who was here. Tracy, I know I'm ticked off too. I know a lot of people have sent stuff. Thank you, Marie. I appreciate that. Yeah, Courtney, I've just been trying not to say anything, but it is hurtful, you know. And the other day she was like, oh, we had a disagreement. I didn't do anything and, you know, whatever. Well, okay, maybe I did do it. I don't think so, but I have boundaries that I try to live by. And I feel like those boundaries have been crossed. And I don't know what else to do to make sure. I mean, I got a nasty text message saying that, you know, after you encouraged me to go live, I'm not sure what else she did for me. I've gotten some nice shout outs from other channels, from Tiffany, from Becca, from Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, you know, and those, but I'm working very hard to try to grow my channel, to try to make sure I'm putting out good content for you guys. And I don't want to be that person. I'm sorry. Yeah, and I actually, when Colleen did say, you know, maybe we should go different directions, I literally did. I've been trying to just go out and do my thing and not interact. So, yeah, we definitely have to all have boundaries. Definitely have to all have boundaries. If, like I said, I'm not asking you to choose between me and her. That's not my agenda. I just, yeah. Yeah, Marie, I didn't intend to do that when I came on here. That's my thing. When I get really upset, I do. And, I mean, there's a couple of things here. I was in super tremendous amounts of pain. And once I stepped back away from Kathy and tried to avoid the drama train, I'm not taking anywhere near as much pain medication as I was. I think that you can see that I'm less stressed. I'm a little more stressed today because I've been thinking about whether or not to talk about this for a while. I've been actually talking to a couple of different people about it and saying, what do you looking for advice from people that I felt like kind of understood the situation. Exactly. It is a business, Donna, and I'm trying to work mine like a business. Um, all of you don't know this, so I'm going to put this out a little bit in public. My husband had a stroke in December, and we're not that, anything else happens. We need to have another source of income. So I am working YouTube specifically so that I can hopefully help that happen. He's working his YouTube channel as well, trying to do that. And neither one of us has the health to be able to go out to a regular job on a daily basis. The time, but there's no way I'd be able to work an 8-hour shift somewhere. The arthritis is in my hands and my shoulders, and it's not going to happen. I'm not looking for handouts from anybody. That is not what I'm saying. But I am trying to work this into, I'm trying to put out good content and good videos so that, maybe I will get the subscriber count I need to be able to monetize. And I came very close to losing him in December. And then we would be up a creek without a paddle. I would be for sure. And of course, with the health problems that I have, he could lose me anytime. So we're both working very hard to try to make things work, to make the farm self-sustainable as possible. And, so I'm not doing this for grins and giggles. I'm not trying to, I'm not doing this just for socialization, although that's really helpful. That's really made a big difference in how I feel. Right, Marie. And I was kind of hoping that would just show, some people don't know me very well. Some people haven't been around. I mean, I've only been doing videos since March. So, but I am trying to. And I looked at some of my older videos and I was like, oh gosh, you look so depressed and so down in the dumps. And here especially the last week or so, I think I look a whole lot happier. And I want to get back to that. I don't want to be, Susie Sourpuss whenever I'm online. I want to be able to do stuff that's fun for you guys and fun for me. So, and yeah. Yeah, Faith, it was scary. He was very lucky. He was very lucky with his stroke. He has very little permanent damage. Every once in a while, his short-term memory has a little bit of an issue, but almost everything else is completely intact. We're going to knock on wood because I hope that stays that way. So, but I am trying to put fun stuff out there for you guys, and I apologize if it feels like I'm just inundating you with things. Some of the advice that I've seen is to make sure that you're putting out plenty of content over the course of this, especially if you're trying to get your first 1,000 subscribers and the first hours, because you have to have X number of subscribers and so much watch time. So I'm trying to put good content out there for that. Yes, I appreciate that. He's doing way better now. He's that's tech support, Kim. He is the bomb. He's the one who's put together all those intros and outros that I've been trying out. And he's teaching me technology, whether I want to learn it or not. I'm actually learning a lot about how to edit videos and stuff. You guys may see examples of that. I don't expect you guys to watch everything I put out, but I am trying to get stuff out there that's going to attract new subscribers too. And yeah, well, you know, I'm 55, but the RA, I have rheumatoid arthritis throughout my body, and I have osteoarthritis. And one of the drugs that they gave me for the rheumatoid arthritis caused me to have a major surgery last year. I had at the end of August, beginning of September, I had a bowel resection. They took out 24 inches, almost a yard of all of that. So I've been recovering from all of that. That's part of why I'm having a hard time walking very far or doing much standing up at a time. And, you know, it takes a lot out of you to heal from stuff like that. And poor Wayne literally took care of me. They called him and offered us in-home nurses while I was in the hospital. And he had no clue that we would need him. He's like, oh, no, I got this. Poor guy. I feel sorry for him. I really do. Because he took care of me 24/7. We could have probably used some in-home help for at least a couple of weeks there. I appreciate that, Marie. Thank you very much, Kim. Vicki, I didn't think you were asking for anything, but you know, I want to make sure that everybody understands this isn't, you know, it's not a personal thing, and this is a business, and this is my YouTube channel, and I have to run it, and I have to run it as well as I can, so that you guys are entertained by what I'm putting out there, and so that I'm happy with what I'm putting out there, because I've got some stuff out there that I'm like, I don't know, you know, but I'm learning every time. I'm learning every time. And, you know, I think you guys are following along with me, and I hope that you guys are understanding what I'm doing. And I'm hoping that we can put this thing to rest with Kathy so that it can be in the rearview mirror. That's where I thought it already was, until I got some stuff yesterday. And I was like, okay, I guess this is an elephant I don't have a choice but to talk about. And I'm hoping I don't have to talk about it again. I just want to move forward. So that's the way it is. That's the way it is. You know? Hey, Mary. Yeah, you probably do, Mary. I appreciate that, Tracy. That's why I made you a moderator, is so you could help out with that stuff. And, you know, I appreciate my mods. They have been the bomb on all of this, because I have been pouring all this out to them privately and going, how do I handle this? And because I want to be the bigger person if I can be. I was, you know, if somebody needs help, that's one thing. If you really need help, I'm perfectly willing to do that. But, you know, don't beat me up because I tried to help you out. That's not the thing. And I appreciate the help that I've gotten from people along the way. And hopefully I'll be in a position where I can pass that help back down to people as things go on. I don't even know what else to say, guys. I just wanted to put everything out there and let you guys see what's going on. Hey, Stephanie. Yeah, and it's hard when, to drag your own, well, what should be personal and private stuff up onto YouTube. But when it comes down to it, at some point I had to say something about this because it's becoming a flurry of rumors, and I don't want a bunch of rumors. I just want to say it once. Then if somebody asks about it later, Nicole can put the link in here for them to come back and see it and know the rest of the story. So thank you, Marie. I appreciate that. Stephanie, I don't always sit and cry on my lives. Sorry, honey. But I think you know that already. I'm just trying to address something and get it off the table so we can go on. Because I brought a whole bunch of stuff in here today. So that you guys would have some content to watch. I finished my little bee. I'm going to take my yarn sewing needle, which I found the other day, and I'm going to give him a mouth. And I think I've still got to crochet up some little wings. They just need little circles. But I want to find some more yellow thread before I do that. So my bee is going to become a pin cushion. And I've mostly finished my chicken from Teresa's live. My chicken, well, no, but Colleen, how much more do I go into? I mean, I don't want to sit here for hours and gripe and complain. I just wanted to get the basics out there so you guys would know. I'm not just being Kathy. I'm not trying to be mean to Kathy. I'm just trying to move on. I just want to go on to the next step in whatever I've got to do to grow my channel, and let's move forward. You've got Pop. I didn't do it with them. I wasn't like on the live, Laura, but I did crochet along, and I had to finish the little butt piece today. I gave him some green little eyes. I don't know if you should be able to see him. And I'm going to give him a mouth, and then I'm going to put the little wings on. But I collect pincushions. Oh, awesome, Faith. And if you want to share fabric with somebody, like a lot of people send stuff to Tiff, I think that's awesome. Tiffany uses that fabric and makes quilts, and she does charity quilts, and she sells quilts and all of that. And she's always really thankful for everything she gets. You can tell by the way she reacts to it. And she uses it. If you look closely, you can see stuff that you have donated to her. If you've donated fabric, you see it in her blocks. I think she used a lot of donated fabric in those 25 patch blocks. And I love that quilt. That was one of the reasons I delayed going live today, is because I wanted to see her bind that quilt. And I love it. It's gorgeous. She did an amazing job on that. Oh, he said B too. Well, if you crochet stuff, you should definitely make one. I like to collect stuff like this, though. I use it for pin cushions. That's what I use it for. And then my little chicken, he's deformed, and I haven't figured out how I deformed him. But I'm going to use him as a pin cushion too. But I collect these things. I like to collect the patterns and make them. This one, I don't know if you guys can see my little dachshund here. I think he's adorable. And I made, 4 or 5 of these. He holds the collage pins that you use when you long arm quilt. No, Tiffany doesn't ask for donations. She says, I'll take anything bigger than an inch. And she uses it all. But she's not out there begging for donations, and she's not. Stops. I'm not going to say what my reaction to her reaction to Kathy's reaction is, but these are cute. I like these. I have a VW bus. I have a couple of birds. Any little stuffy that I find patterns for, I'll make 1 or 2 or 12 or whatever. out of my scraps. That's what this is from scraps right down to his little belly. And I stink at ladder stitching, as you guys can see right there. But I like to use them as pincushions, and I have them sitting on shelves in my sewing room. Yeah, Faith, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. I did a test live yesterday from my actual sewing room where all my other machines are. And you can see behind me, I've got a big shelf that holds up towards the ceiling. I've got bolts of fabric on it. My husband spoils the heck out of me, guys, or always has. Whenever we would go to the fabric store and I'd be looking at fabric, I'd look at it and I'd go, oh, that's really pretty. I like it. You know, what should I get, 1 or 2 yards? And he's like, why don't you just buy the bolt? And so I have a ton of fabric. I mean, I have tons of fabric, literally. And he had to build me shelves to hold this stuff, plus the fabric I collected before we ever met. And I'm trying to use that stuff up in quilts. But I have those big, like 12 by 12 by 12 fabric bins full of stuff. And I've literally thought that I should challenge myself to take one of those fabric bins, dump it out, and make something from that bin. Just use everything in that bin to make a quilt or a dress or whatever. So I have plenty of fabric. Vicki, I love making the dogs. They're cute. Yes, Kim, that's me too. I think it's stash exceeds life expectancy, SELA. I definitely SELA. My stash definitely exceeds my life expectancy. And nobody in my family sews. July with Sean Courtney from Pieces Love and Quilting, Donna from Handmade by Ying, Fallon from Soviet Quilts. Who am I forgetting? Me, Sean, Donna, Fallon, and Courtney. There's one more. I don't know, Kim. I'd have to see if I can find the pattern again. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. I'm frozen again. I hate that it's frozen. Hi, Lynn. Beth is in there too. Thank you. Thank you. Beth is going to shoot me. I'm sorry, Beth. So Beth, Donna, Courtney, Sean, me, and Fallon from Soviet Quilts. We're all going to do a scrap quilt. I did a video the other day about doing some scrap sewing. I don't know how big my blocks are going to be, but what I'm doing is I'm just sewing my scraps together, and then I'm going to cut blocks, and then on the sew along, I'm planning to sash and cornerstone them. So that's coming on. That's on the 23rd of July, I believe. And then Donna and I are working on a collaboration together. We haven't finalized all the details yet, but we are trying to work that out. And we're going to try it for a month, see how it does, and then go from there. Yeah, it's Zoom. I don't think it's the computer, Vicki. It's Zoom. But anyway, so I'm working on a couple of collabs with a couple of people. And then I am doing, this hasn't come out yet. This video will come out tomorrow. I'm going to do a basic block series. And I have these funky colors here of this green. It's a lime green and a red and black polka dot. I'm going to do some basic blocks out of that. And maybe work basic blocks into the scrap quilt. I don't know. But I've got all kinds of stuff planned. The Tool Time Tuesday that I'm doing. I'm doing tips for content creators. And basically, it's not that I think I'm so great at it. It's as I learn something, I'm trying to share it with other people so that you don't have to do the research for that. Maybe you guys will share information back with me that you've learned. It's the connection between Zoom and YouTube. Oh, that may be true, Tracy. I did see that right as I was going live, Donna, and I do want to watch it. So I'm hoping that I learned something from that. But and then I've got the chicken salad that I'm doing. I'm trying to do 1 block a week on that. And the chicken salad made me realize that my baby lock needed to be cleaned. So I cleaned my baby lock yesterday on camera. And I have a couple of different versions of that coming out, a fast one, a slow one, and then how to insert a needle. Because when I went to research, those were the things that I found some people wanted to see, cleaning a sewing machine and like up close and right in your face detail. Some people wanted a quick video to show them how to do it. And some just needed to know how to insert needles. So I'm putting all 3 out over the course of the next few days. Hopefully that'll attract some attention for my channel. Colleen, would you post Donna's channel if you haven't already? Donna is Handmade by Ying with Donna. You're in Facebook too? Okay. Yeah, just slap the computer. Yes, Laura, I'm going to do, crumb quilted blocks. I actually have a bunch of blocks. I don't know if you guys know who Darlene Michaud is. She was in New York. Now I think she's in Mississippi. She just lost her mother. I started watching her do crumb quilt blocks way back when. And she literally would take and sew scraps, little bitty pieces of fabric together to make bigger pieces of fabric. So I've been doing that for a while. I really could probably do the scrap challenge with the stuff that I've already got sewn together, but I will randomly pick up a bag of scraps and start sewing things together to make scrap blocks, and they make great utility quilts. The thing is, my name is Practically Creative. I like to use what I have if I can and still be creative and do something because it's been a while since I made it. Like I said, I don't even know if I have the pattern. Okay, Lynn. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Darlene's great. And I watch bag makers and I make bags and I make pin cushions. And like I said, I have a whole room full of fabric. I've got 3 or 4 rolls of vinyl plus waterproof canvas. So you might get a bag video out of me. You know, I've done the necessary clutch wallet already. I've made a ton of bags. I made my own purse. I'm getting ready to replace another one. Yeah, I've been watching Brenda. Come on, give me her name, somebody. Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. She does crumb and string blocks, and I've printed out some of the templates, patterns, paper piecing things that she's done. And I have printed out some of those, and I want to sit down and work on those. I would love to be able to make those, maybe even make them on camera for you guys. Like I've said before, I don't quite have the knack of sewing and following chat at the same time yet, but I'm trying to get there. So I am trying to improve and make this a whole lot more fun for you guys. And I don't like doing videos where I have to talk about bad things. That's not fun. I like to sew. I like to quilt. I like to make bags. I like to make pin cushions. I like to crochet. I can a ton. I can and preserve food. You know, all of these are things that I want to do. What I don't want to do is play with drama. So hopefully we can all, have a good time. And I haven't bought any subscription boxes yet. That footstool is awesome, isn't it, Tracy? I saw that too. And she kept saying use newspaper. And I'm like, trying to think of the last time I saw a newspaper. So I may have to save up like the sale ads you get every week from Winn-Dixie and the grocery stores. I may have to save up those and use them in place of newspaper for a little while. Yeah, definitely. And I want to do all the fun stuff. I want us to all have fun together and get to chit chat and have a good time. And, I would love to go learn foundation paper piecing like Yvette is teaching, but I don't have the time right now. I'm working out my schedule for YouTube, because the lives I'm going to do Monday and Thursday at 2 p.m., but I'm trying to figure out how do I work the rest of it? How do I record videos, edit videos, get them posted, and keep the content going that I've started so that you guys still have the content that you need without feeling like, awesome. That's good, Marie. I will mention that in just a second. I want to make sure that the content's entertaining to you guys and to new sewers who might be coming in, because I'm not an expert sewer. I'm kind of intermediate, maybe a little more than intermediate. But I definitely could teach a beginner to sew. And I've had several requests from people in real life, people that I physically know, to show them how to use a basic sewing machine. So I want to sit down with my basic sewing machine and do an absolute beginner series on that for those people. One of them doesn't even know how to turn the sewing machine on. So it's going to be some intense filming when I do that. And it's probably going to take me a good day or two to film that and get something edited that I think is acceptable to me to put out on my channel. But hopefully that'll be helpful. Marie said that if anyone's curious about Soya and Tucker, Brody mentioned last night that they've been in contact with Tucker and have worked it out with him to get something to him. And that's a good thing, because a lot of people donated money to that cause for Tucker to get fabric, because they were like, oh, we'll just send him a little bit of fabric. And then several people chipped in $50+ that I saw. I know there was like $300 or $400 towards getting more fabric in that box for Tucker. So I think that definitely should be sent to him. Well, hopefully, Tracy, I'm not one of those. Awesome, Courtney. I would be more than willing to live with you anytime you want to. That's what I'm trying to do, Donna. I really tried to walk away with this one and just not let it become a circus, but it had, so I kind of had to address it. I'm hoping so, Marie. I'm hoping so. It was over 1,000 that was sent to them for him. Yeah. While I'm doing personal opinions, I'm going to put this one out there. I used to follow Soya. I used to be there for every video. Wayne knew their voices just by listening to them, and he never really watched. And I joined the subscription box when they were talking it up in December. So I got the subscription box in January. Everything was fine. February, they sent me a notice, Shopify did, and said that my payment didn't process. Well, there was plenty of money in the account for the payment to process, but it wouldn't let me do it unless I put a different credit card in there. So I tried from the 1st until I think it was like the 14th to change the credit card, and the Shopify thing wouldn't let me change it. So I was like, okay, this is a pain in the butt, but I thought it was Shopify's problem. Then March's box came, and that was okay. And they didn't have the pattern up for 7 days. I think it was a week after the box came. And I finally went and made my own pattern. Just decided to do it a whole different way. That's the knot quilt that I on some of my videos. Then April 1st, we got triple billed for the subscription box. And I immediately contacted them and said, what's going on? This isn't funny. It was literally April 1st. I was like, this is not an April Fool's joke. This is crappy. And when my husband saw that on the credit card bill, because I had him check, he messaged them and he was very angry, and I don't blame him. Thankfully, it was on a credit card that we used for farm stuff, so it wasn't like on our debit card. But the response that he got back was, I'm sorry, you're mad. That's not an apology. It's not. That's we don't care if you're mad, but tough luck, as far as we were concerned. Yeah. So I canceled the subscription box, and I was like, I'm not going to shop with So Yeah until all this money gets refunded like it's supposed to, and the box comes. Well, it took until almost the 15th for the money to get refunded to our credit card, although So Yeah supposedly issued the refund the same night. It didn't show back up on our credit card till the 15th. I got the box, and then it was like 2 weeks before the pattern went up. And I don't think I've ever even gone back. No, the pattern just went up in the last couple of days. I know that it hadn't, because I've been using that fabric from the April box on my pineapple blocks. So I don't even know what the pattern for April was. And so Becca put up her video the other day, and she had a picture of the pattern. I'm glad I didn't wait for it, because I would have ticked. It's a basics box, but that pattern's basic too, and I don't like it. Maybe it's appealing to people who like more modern quilts. But so I found out they hadn't put the pattern up, and apparently people haven't gotten their boxes yet either. So I'm like, okay, guys, time to do some reworking of how this works, because I thought they would have that pattern picked out before they sent the box out, and that the pattern should go up at the same time as the box was shipped, if not a little bit before, so that it would be available whenever you scan that QR code and go in there. That doesn't seem to be how it's working. So, Courtney, I definitely. Thank you, Donna. YouTube takes a chunk of what's donated. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't watch anything from So Yeah anymore either. Tucker was very nice about that. I'm not a modern quilter. I'm more into the old-fashioned stuff. Lori Holt's fabric really appeals to me. I saw another designer the other day. I want to say Nicole something. I'll look her up again, but the fabric and the colors that she uses are, in my eyes, very similar to what Lori Holt uses. Maybe a little more country than the vintage colors that Lori uses. But I want to check that lady's fabric out, because Lori Holt's is expensive. It may be because it's issued by Riley Blake, but I want to look Natalie Nicole. I can see the fabric, but I can't see the name. And that's how I remember things, is kind of in pictures. But that fabric really appeals to me. Obviously, you can tell I like those kind of old-fashioned fabrics. This is stuff that came out of my stash when I made that. Yeah, I was upset about how they treated Susan, Shady Susan, that comes on here. And there was another Susie, I want to say Susie Homemaker. That may be the same person as Shady Susan, but I don't think so. Both of them said that they had issues with getting all the pieces to their handy quilters and stuff. And then Dawn, somebody, was on a chat the other day and said that after she bought her machine, she didn't get any follow-up. And I would assume if they're going to sell you a $10,000 to $30,000 machine, some kind of instruction would be included with that. Maybe I'm assuming incorrectly. And I know a lot of people have taught themselves to free motion quilt and stuff. But for the average person, buying a long arm quilter, I think you would need some kind of instruction in how to use it. You want a wiener dog? Maybe I need to make wiener dogs on Etsy or something. Yeah, Tucker does need the help. He is just 17. We all, and I literally, somebody on the Great British Sewing Bee had the wiener dog, and they had made theirs out of felt and stuffed it with wood shavings, I think, or sawdust. And I just thought it was gorgeous. So I went looking for the pattern, and that's how I found it. Says accepted to the you. Yeah, and today's the 25th, right? 26th. I'm lost what day of the week it is, or what day of the month it is. But yeah, that seems like a long time for a package to not have moved. I mean, if it's accepted at USPS, it should be, that should mean that it's been transmitted to a facility. And I haven't heard of any fires or riots or anything around any of the UPS, the Postal Service facilities in Vegas. So I would think that that would be moving. I mean, if it's supposed to be delivered sometime after the 15th, 10 days seems like more than enough time for it to arrive, right? Civil War reproduction prints. We don't even want to talk about Missouri Star Company's shipping. The last time I ordered something from them, it took almost 3 weeks to get here, Laura. I was so ticked. I mean, ticked. I was like, it's a layer cake. It's not like they had to cut the fabric or bring somebody in to do it. They literally had to pick it up off a shelf and throw it in a mailing envelope. The 18th, which also was late getting a label made. Tracy, what did you just put up? Is that me? That was nice. I just got a message from somebody that had been, I thought, mad at me. So that was nice. Anyway, yeah, it's really weird, Stephanie. How does that work? Okay, Laura, you're the bomb. But if you're in business and you know that you're going to be moving your business and that you have an obligation to mail something on X date, my way of handling that as a business owner would be to make sure that that item was prepared and I moved as part of my jobs when I worked in the prison system before I went to college. I literally helped move 1,000 inmates at a time from one facility to another. And I would get a list because I was working in the pharmacy. I would get a list of what inmates were going to be moved over the course of the next week. So I would get it like Monday of this week, and they would be planning to move them Monday of the next week to Friday of the next week. And I would be responsible for getting all of the medications and records for that inmate put together and in a separate folder from everybody else. So 1,000 separate folders. You're responsible for having all of those ready by Friday afternoon at 3:00. So when they started moving inmates on Monday, all of that stuff would be ready to go. And I would think that as a business owner, knowing that you're shipping something, hi, Sylvia. Oh, that's not a problem, Tracy, at all. I like Lisa at Pay It Forward too. I've watched her do quite a few of hers. She's meticulous. She and Tiffany fascinate me because they are both so meticulous about how they do their projects. And Tiffany's fast too. I don't think Lisa's super fast, but she's very meticulous, and everything she does is gorgeous. I agree. Am I frozen again, Vicky? And we have Starlink, guys. This is on Starlink, so Zoom should be working perfectly. As a matter of fact, Wayne's not even on a conference call or anything right now. He's on lunch. So he's outside. Hi, Patty. I didn't even see you come in, darling. Oh, I do see that it's trying to freeze on me. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to be able to multi-channel. I was doing it earlier while on Tiffany's because I knew I wanted to wait till she got done with that binding. And I love that quilt. That quilt is just gorgeous. And I'm still sleeping under the quilt that Tiffany sent me. I am. I love it. It's so comfortable. Not anymore on what? Oh, not frozen anymore? Good. Okay. But so I've got all kinds of stuff I want to show you guys over the course of the next few, days and weeks and whatever. I'm going to drag more crud over here to my desk so you guys can see. This is the stuff I was sewing the other day when I was scrap sewing. And I just have the whole little pile here because I figured I was going to go back and work on this some more. And I literally am just putting whatever in there. But that was part of the reason that when I started doing those basic patch blocks, that I put the red polka dot in there because there's so much red already in the scraps. I thought that would tie everything together if I decide that I'm going to put those 9 patches in my scrap blocks, because that could happen. I like I said, I don't care who you watch or whatever. I just hope that I do something that you enjoy. And then I've got some other stuff. I'm not sure how I'm going to work it in, but this is a piece of a pillowcase, and the fabric is cotton. It's 100% cotton, but it's so soft and so satiny kind of feeling that I really want to work it in. I may have to cut that and use it for binding or something. All very quilting. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to do stuff that works together for us, And then I've got my little scraps from the hexes I'm working on. I have a little bit of that there. Then I have a piece, and I have it all in baggies because it all went to different projects. Hey, Patty. Yep. This is the last leftover piece from my triple Irish chain. And it's probably going to get cut up and put into the scrap quilting too. But I've been trying, like I said, this one's This is what's left. This is what's left from the jelly roll I bought for that triple Irish chain. And I probably could put all the rest of the scraps down inside there so they're not floating around. Let me do that now so I don't have another thing wibble wobbled, whatever. I don't know. I mean, do you guys want to watch me scrap so? I don't know if that's something everybody likes. I put up a music montage of it yesterday. Stephanie, you have a great day. Oh, I hope Sarah has fun at ballet. Bye, Faith. Right. Well, the quilt's going to be scrappy for sure. Like if you take these pieces that are the same and offset them, that's not a good example because they're not the same. But if you take and set them like this, you get something that a Seminole border, but isn't. But it makes a really nice little design down the side. So I think I may want to do something like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I will know more by the time we get ready to do that live with Sean, though. So, hi, Day. How are you today? No yardage in the picture. Awesome. Do you make scrap quilts, Patty? I do lots of scrappy stuff. I like to take scrap quilts and put them into like scrap pieces and put them into like applique. I have a Sunbot at Sue that I did that's buried underneath all those other ones. I'm just doing what I was talking about with the scraps day is I'm going to do a sew along with several other content creators, including the guy who sews on the 23rd of July. And my calendar says I have to have my blocks ready to go by the 15th of June so that I have that all project bagged up. And then whenever it comes time for the sew along, I can just pull my project bag out and put my sashing and cornerstones on, because he wants us to be able to have at least a finished top to show into the live, and the live's only like or maybe an hour and a half. So I want to get that all ready to go and have it tucked away in my little corner so I don't have to worry about it, because you never know what's going to happen and keep you from being able to do something. So I like to give myself lots of room. And then I'm working on pineapple blocks. I've got a ton of those done. And I've got a ton of little ones done for that. So I don't know where they're going eventually, but Courtney was nice enough to go on Zoom with me and teach me how to do this. So I have been practicing. You can't tell, but that's two different colors of purple. And this one's purple and yellow. Yellow. I did this one way more scrappy than the others. And then I've got some big ones. Yeah, I thought they were pretty day. And then I've still got a few of the hand-pieced ones or the foundation-pieced ones that I did. I hated doing this part, but Courtney made it so that the pineapple rulers that I waited for forever, that they were easier for me to use. And now I just whip through them. So I've got this little box of all the colors that I've used in it so far. And most of the scraps, anything big enough to make like one of these single pieces here, I'm keeping, because I make several big ones, then I make a few small ones. And it takes 4 of these small ones to make one big one. And I don't know where they're going to end up at, if they're going to end up in a scrap quilt, if they're going to end up in a table runner. Got to put them into a bag. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Yeah, Courtney is a sweetheart. You make scrap blocks when you're bored and add them to your pile. Yeah, and they're nice. Like when I decided I was going to do the sunbonnet suit, the only quilt that I have that my mother ever made was a sunbonnet Sue. So I have that quilt, and I need to do a little more repair work on it. A lot of her, I think she had issues with her sewing machine because a lot of her zigzag stitch out. So I've been trying to, one block at a time, go in and fix the zigzag stitching on her quilt, but I don't have thread that matches. So I'm just using whatever I have, trying to kind of be in the colorway of that block. She did like a red block and a blue block and a yellow one. So I'm trying to, do a little here and there, but it almost feels sacrilegious to be doing all that work on her quilt because, she made it and it should at some point be allowed to rest. But my nephew wants it. Nine full queen and king size quilts for Christmas in 2019. Wow. That's impressive, Patty. That is impressive. Did you quilt them yourself too? Oh, please, please, Colleen, you're not mean. Now, see, I don't have a phone book anymore. I like phone book paper, but usually if I scrap quilt or string blocks or whatever, I now do it on, I have some really thin old cotton sheets that we got at the thrift store. And I'm talking about they're thinner than the muslin that I use. And I will cut those into pieces and then crumb quilt on those. I like those. Those come out really cute. I hope so, Marie. My mom was a little perverse. So I don't know. She may or may not be that way. But my nephew asked for it when he was here for our wedding in 2017. And I told him he could have it, but that he needed to do the repair work. And it's about a full size quilt. And I did a lot of work on it in 2018 and 2019. And then because I had sepsis in 2017, right after we got married, or right before. But, now I kind of pull it out and do a skirt or whatever, and then put it back because it does take a lot of room to be able to work on that. You tied them all? I love tied quilts, Patty, especially if they've got a lot of batting in them. My granny made all of her quilts and then tied them also. But it's funny, I have a couple of her quilts. She had 10 kids, so quilting was a necessity for her. She had to use up fabric or, make blankets for all those kids. But the kids would fight over who got to sit down and do the tying. So every quilt that I have from my granny that's hand tied, I know that my uncles and my mom and my all sat down and tied those together. And Sylvia was asking about it yesterday, how they did it. I don't remember my grandmother ever using glue. I just know they were tight little knots on there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a perfect example. Unsubscribe if you need to, Colleen, from whoever, even if it's me. I don't want that person to be stressed for you. If I'm stressful for you, unsubscribe from me too. But you don't deserve to have that kind of stress. I don't deserve to have that kind of stress. Nobody does. If someone stresses you out, yeah. And literally, I haven't sat here. I was holding my little bee earlier, I know, but I haven't sat here and wrung my hands, which I caught myself doing a lot on video for a while. And I did take a pain pill this morning in anticipation because I knew I was going to talk about this today. But my shoulder's not killing me right now. I can hold my head up without pain in my neck, and my hands aren't hurting. And stress really makes it worse for me. So I can feel it a little bit, but not like I can on days when things are really rough. So, quilted twins. I think you said something to me about them before, Patty. Yeah, I've got a log cabin quilt that I made, a king size log cabin quilt that I have made. I have put together with batting and I have backing on it, but I've never quilted it. And I want to get that out and see what kind of shape it's in. Because if it's in crappy shape, it needs to go in the garbage. If it's in decent shape, I want to quilt it. Yeah. Well, put the enter up again if you want to. Yeah, and if you have not entered the giveaway for the Martelli cutter that I'm giving away, please enter it. I'm going to draw it on Friday, and I'm shipping directly from Amazon. Anna that I was singing to my Martelli in a video the other day. I think I was doing it on live chat, but I was cutting fabric. It might have been in a recorded video. And I was sitting here and it was just cutting so nicely. And I was like, oh, my boyfriend's back and you're gonna be sorry. Because my Martelli is just like gliding through the fabric like a hot knife through butter. And I'm just cutting. And I was like, okay. I'm back again. Yeah, I don't know what this thing is doing. I don't know what it's doing. Did you guys see me saying about my Martelli? I love my Martelli cutter. And, I will share. Oh, so you did see me saying, okay, that's good. I don't have to do it again. I'm going to have to slap YouTube and Zoom upside the head. But it does. That's what it feels like having my Martelli back. Because I was using this little thing to cut everything. It's a 28 millimeter cutter, and I don't even know how long I've had this. Forever. And this one needs to go to rehab too. I need to clean it up. And I think that says 12, 22, 21 on there. So I last changed the blade at the end of December. There you go. I've got a link dropper and a troll killer, the queen of trolls. Yeah. This one, I mean, it cuts. It's got a sharp blade in it, but it's not as easy for me to use as this because I can do this way. And with this, I have to hold it with my whole hand and try to cut. And that angle for my wrist makes my elbow hurt. That's right, Marla. It should be fun. It shouldn't be drama. And I'm glad you're playing Legos with your granddaughter. Are you building anything fun? Yeah, that's why I have the 28 is for the little ones. Actually, I'm still trying to get my Cricut to work because I don't know if you guys saw the block for Pearl, but I tried to cut Pearl's stuff out with the Cricut, and the Cricut didn't like it. It did a cruddy job on her comb. So I've got to play with that sometime this week and see if I can get the Cricut to work better on cutting the fabric. I've seen some stuff that says maybe put the fabric side down and the bonded side up So I'm going to try that and see if it works better. Pet daycare. There you go. I think that would be cute. Does it come with like little dogs and cats and stuff too? I don't know what else you would put in that. Goats, cows, pigs. I guess people have pigs as pets, don't they? We always name ours things like bacon, so you know where ours end up at. Yeah, Courtney's getting ready to go on a cruise. I can't wait. The blade on the 28 millimeter, yeah, it needs to be just like wiped, cleaned, but it doesn't have anything caught. And I just put up a video about fixing this Martelli. The reason that it was out of order is, I don't know if you can see, there's a little spring in there that connects to this, which is the blade guard, and it connects to the body of the cutter right there. That spring broke on me, probably because I had the wrong blade in the cutter to start with. I had changed out my blade from the round blade and I put one of those ones with notches, and that doesn't work very well for this. Oh, on the Cricut, I did clean it while I was cutting, and it does have some lint in there, but that's from the last fabric I cut. I have another one of these blades, and I'm going to clean this one up and then try that. But I also did see that my blade is bent. Is that normal, Delia? But I also did see that sometimes the blades we get that putting the fabric with the bonded side up sometimes works better than putting it with the fabric side down. And that's a rotary cutter blade too. So I want to be just as careful with that as with the rotary cutter. A bunny. Your pet daycare has a bunny? My pet daycare has a Daisy. She goes outside and plays with the kittens that one of our cats just had. It's not going to go back in there for me. Not with that hand. My left hand can't do it. But Daisy goes outside and plays with the kittens so the mommy cat can get a break. Kind of funny because she's, Daisy's 7 pounds. The kittens are about the same size now. So they go out there and run around and play with each other. I wondered what the problem was the other day. Daisy was out there and she kept harassing the big cat. I was like, you're going to get beat up. Well, it turns out I think she was harassing the big cat to show her where her kittens were. Because next thing we knew, Daisy was under the porch playing with the kitties. Six Big Shot. Is it like manual or is it electric? I've what the AccuQuilt has to offer, but I can't justify that price. I kind of think I would like to have something like that that cuts that way, but my Cricut will do it if I can figure out how to make it do it. And it cuts, this Cricut has cut other fabric without a problem, but I'm usually just cutting straight lines. And it's cut, everything else I've put through it without an issue, depending on which blade I use. So I'm thinking it must have something to do with the fact that I have the heat and bond on the back of the fabric, and maybe it's just that I've got it the wrong way up. The Sizzix is a manual. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marla. It's just one of those Walmart built brand cups, but I put a mandala on it. And I put up a video about weeding the mandala because I thought it was, I thought the mandala was pretty. And someone told me they liked watching me weed. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. I haven't put up any videos about weeding in the last couple of weeks, though, because I haven't done anything major. But it will be tricked. I need mine too, Patty. But hand exercise, that kind of hand exercise is hard on me. I try to make sure I keep all the, like, my legs moving and all of that stuff. So I'll sit and jiggle my legs. Fidget is what they used to call it when we were kids. You watched me weed that mandala. Cool. But I fidget to try to keep everything moving. I do remember that, Kim, now that you say that. That's been a day or two. I think it took her a couple of years to finish that quilt, though. And now Agnes has a quilt at Grandma's house to sleep under, right? I also have a pink cup that's pretty similar to this that has Practically Creative on it. You have stuff to make those. Is there anybody here who doesn't watch Kate at the Last Homely House? I thought we were all addicted. Well, this is where I used most of my drunkard's path blocks and the piecing. And the Cricut did cut these without an issue, but these don't have heat and bond on the back. So I don't know what to do. That's the only difference between this fabric that I cut with the Cricut and the pattern fabric. And I still haven't sewed up my little edge. I need to pull that up underneath the machine. I'm cold anyway, so I'm just going to cover up with it. Oh, I love Kate. I love Kate. Oh, I love Kate. I love Kate. Yes, and she's, hi, Geraldine. It's a nice little place that Kate lives in, and her little yard is just adorable. Bye, Lynn. You have a great day. Your grandkids have their own quilts at your house and pillowcases. That's awesome. Day makes bows. And Patty gets her dyes at Hobby Lobby. Hi, Della. How are you? Delia. Make sure I say everybody's names right. Okay, so I was still finishing up the chicken salad. That's the biggest project I'm working on. I've got 9 more blocks to go, and I'm doing it week by week so that everybody who wants to do it can do it and keep up, because I know not everybody works at the same pace. Probably if I were working on it just for me, I'd cut everything out, put all my blocks together, and then start working on piecing my little 2-inch squares or 2.5-inch squares. Okay, so should I let you guys go so you can go watch Lori? I'd like to watch her too, but there is always replay. But I didn't, I was like, I'll stay on as long as you guys want me to, until 4 o'clock my time. It's only about 3:10. But if Lori's on, I know she had to delay hers because of something with her puppies this morning. Yes, it's finished, Tracy. The lemon quilt is finished. I actually put up a quick short video of it, but it's finished. It's quilted. And let's see if I can get this up here where you can see it. I put a flange binding around it. Can you see that it's green and pink? all the way around. This camera is not picking up the color well. The outside is that pink, and then I put the lime green like is in some of the. Okay. Thank you, Geraldine. I appreciate that. Well, I can. I can't quilt. Just because I have free motion and don't long arm or free motion flat on my table, I can. And all I did on this one was I just did my doodle that I do, you know, my little swirly swirl. I didn't throw any feathers in this one or anything crazy. Thank you. Your first names are both Barbara. Awesome. Yeah, it's all done. There's the flange binding. What you guys see is a little what I think I saw. I just did. So I think it's pretty. And I love that green, that little pop of green around the flange binding. I just think that's awesome. Okay, well, I think we've talked about everything I wanted to talk about today. And like I said, Lori is on, and I don't want to tread on her too badly. And I'd like to watch her too. Like I said, I can watch replay, but we can do it either way. You guys want to hang out here, or you want to go over and see Lori? I'm sorry, Colleen. We're not trying to spread you thin. You've already put links over here, though. Ah. Yeah, I think that was uncommon too now. And my granny had 10 kids and never had a set of twins. I'm shocked. Right. Trying to work on getting Lori's subscriber count up too at Quilting in the Country. She was under 100 the last time I looked, and she's funny. She's really funny. And she's been going through, she inherited scraps from her mom and I think her mother-in-law. And she was going through them a couple of weeks ago, and I was sitting here going, ooh, I could do so much. And she had some blocks in there from what she had done before. And I was looking at all those blocks and all those little pieces she had. And I was just planning out quilts the way I wanted to do them with her scraps. I keep forgetting that you're one of 11, Tracy. Yeah. Yeah, well, you're rotten, Tracy. Yeah, she's very low-key, very humorous. I had the privilege of being on a live with her one morning. She was on at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was just me and her chatting back and forth. It was really nice. When she was working on, no, I don't mind. She was working, she's still working on. Oh, but I think I'm going to do the same. I am going to head over to Lori's. You guys have a great day. I don't want to talk about Kathy anymore, but if you have questions, feel free to ask. And like I said, I'll answer what I want to or what I can. But, you know, I don't want to get into anything nasty about anybody. I just wanted to touch base and get it dealt with. So it was as open as it can be, and we can go on to something else, like making some bees or some hand cushions. All right, guys, you all have a great day. I love you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. I love spending time with you guys. Bye.